Hello friends, ADC here from the lowlands of eastern Scotland. Today is the 15th of November 2018. So I've been opening up the latest edition of Physics World magazine, and their front cover story is very interesting, and it's about the redefinition of the kilogram amongst other units of measurement in the SI system. And this should be happening tomorrow with a vote on the Conference of Units, Weights and Measures, which is held in Paris. Paris is also the place where the kilogram is held. So the kilogram as a unit of measurement is essentially a lump of metal, of course precisely manufactured, platinum alloy metal, which is on a regular basis taken out and measured along with its 6 other witnesses which are around it, and other copies from around the world. And essentially this mass is then used to calibrate all other pieces of scientific equipment. Now, the issue has been over the years that every time we've been remeasuring these weights is that the masses have been diverging. Granted, it's only been approximately 50 micrograms on the kilogram. However, it simply wasn't acceptable to the scientific community that the mass of the kilogram be fluctuating so much, especially with all the implications that brings. So there's been a push to redefine the kilogram in terms of unit constants of the universe. Just like, say, for example, the second has been redefined from, say, the 1,300th of a day, which is the 365.24 of a year. Since these numbers are not as constant as we might like for scientific purposes, they have been redefined to the sort of hyper-fine fluctuations of a cesium atom, which has a certain frequency, and that frequency is then the reciprocal of the second. So some 9 point something trillion hertz is the frequency of the cesium atom, which is incidentally a way in which the atomic clocks work, certain atomic clocks. So much in the same way that the second has been redefined already a few decades ago, the kilogram is on its way to being redefined because the Planck's constant has been found to a much higher degree of accuracy in recent years. So since we've got all this information, these methods to measure Planck's constant, we have agreed upon a value, and now it will be fixed in stone, and we will use the Planck's constant to calculate the kilogram rather than the other way around. So if you read the article from Physics World, which is in the description, freely available online, you will see that there is this piece of equipment called the Kibble balance, or formerly known as a watt balance, which uses sort of the current and the energy going through it, things like that, to calculate Planck's constant based on the mass that is placed on it. And now what will happen is this equipment essentially will be reprogrammed to work in the opposite way. Since Planck's constant will be fixed, then you can measure out exactly 1 kilogram in your lab, which is a major breakthrough for sort of scientific purposes. But other than that, there shouldn't be any other implications for anyone around the world. Especially Liberia, Burma, and the United States, which don't even use the SI system. But of course, the pound, the unit of measurement, the pound is defined as a certain ratio, 0.45, etc., of a kilogram. So it does affect people in the US and Liberia and Burma as well. Now, I have a few thoughts on this redefinition. There has been some criticism. Namely that the Dalton is still linked with the kilogram, Dalton being the unit of measurement, grams per mole of atoms, and of course we have to take it in steps, and I think that we will definitely solve this problem as time goes by. I think it's also important, since these definitions have been much more rigorous, if you read them in the article and on Wikipedia, what they say. They should also probably include that these measurements should be taken at rest, simply to eliminate the effects of relativity. But other than that, everything seems to be fine. I wonder what they will do to textbooks and other definitions, since the Avogadro's number is no longer 12 grams of C12, carbon 12. It is now defined in terms of sort of these other constants. I wonder. I mean, I never really learned what the definition of the ampere was. I kind of sucked at that. So now I never will need to know that, except I will need to know a different definition if ever I need it. But apart from that, the era of the 1 kilogram that rules them all is most likely over. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with these artifacts. Perhaps we can finally see them in some kind of museum. And that would be pretty interesting, to be honest. That's about all for today. Short video this week for the joy of everyone, even myself. And please leave your thoughts in the comments or anything else I want to cover for next week. I do have some ideas, but your comments are always appreciated, or your private messages, as most people seem to be doing. Thanks a lot for listening, and keep yourself, people.